Dear students, good afternoon to all of you. This is the second week, first class. So, up to now, we discussed about energy scarcity and the solutions, and what are the factors affecting the renewable energy development in renewable energy development. And we will finish half of the module by today by discussing about renewable energy sources in India. Once again, I will go to just we will rewind that what are the topics we already discussed since the new students are joined. So you can see that the whatever the word cloud is there. So each word have different meaning. I mean, which is related to our renewable energy source, right? So now we are replacing the alt conventional sources with renewable energy sources. That is our main intention. For that, what are the reasons we already gone through this? Just we will have a rewind of that. Just you can read out each point by point because this one already we covered. And the solutions for energy crisis. The presentation and the like notes also I uploaded in the drive. You can go through that. The solution for the energy crisis, we have that various solutions I listed over here. So this is important question for VT exam also. What are the energy scarcity and reasons for energy scarcity and the solution for energy crisis? And what are the factors affecting anyway substitution and the energy density? You can see that. For more explanation, you can watch the video that uploaded in the Google Drive and as well in the YouTube. And power density, I already told what is the difference between power and energy. Power means instantly it will give the whatever the electricity. For example, if you take a capacitor, if you see that here only you can observe here. Here it is a small cup. So whenever if you want to drain this water, immediately the water will flow out of the cup. But in case of this one, it will drain. So depends on the duration of the energy consumption or energy utilization. So we can call it as power and energy. This one already I explained. And what are the factors affecting intermittency is the main issue because we don't have the uniform wind speed and we don't have the uniform solar irradiance. So due to that, the annual load factors, that means, for example, if we install the 100 kilowatt of wind turbine, how much energy we can utilize throughout a year? 100 kilowatt means on an average 20 kilowatt wind energy we can utilize, 20 kilowatt hours wind energy we can utilize on an annual base. And so this is the partial shading effect, and the wind speed variation is we cannot predict that, highly variable. And for proper documentation is not available, and we have to perform the energy audit in the institutions, and we have to implement the new policies, and proper economically we don't have the support from the uh, in olden days I can say that nowadays we are getting the economic support from the government, but in previous whenever the renewable energy is introduced, that time we don't have the economic support from the government and as well as from the companies, and we are ignoring the renewable energy technology. Skilled people are not there, so skilled people are required, and the donors coordination is important. Now you can see that this last point is very interesting. Once again I am telling this donor coordination, why? For example, some companies, they will operate from the coffee shop. You can see that because of to save the like infrastructure cost and all. Anyway, they will go to one coffee shop. They will sit together and they will perform their tasks from the coffee shop. So those things like proper donor coordination should be there. If it is not there, that is also one of the problem. And the classification, anyway, based on the usability of energy, primary and secondary, we already discussed about these resources. And based on the traditional use, conventional, non-conventional. So please bear with me, it is a lunch break time. And based on the long-term availability, non-renewable energy resources and renewable energy resources, and commercial application. So commercial energy usage, non-commercial application like petrol, gas and all commercial. Wood, craft residue, animal dung cake, these are non-commercial energy resources. Based on the origin, that means what are the different types of energy resources like fossil fuel, nuclear, hydro, solar energy, wind energy, biomass, geothermal, tidal, ocean thermal, ocean wave. Advantage, disadvantages also we already discussed in the last class. So all of you go through the PPT or presentation explanation. Okay, now from today I will begin from this slide onwards, the significance of energy consumption as a measure of prosperity. What is meant by prosperity? Prosperity means, like, anyone please respond. What is meant by prosperity?
Progress.
Okay, progress or development. Yes, someone typed that the chat box. Yes, progress told and to succeed. Okay, prosperity in the sense how much luxury or how much comfortable we are. Sorry. Yeah. Prosperity means how much comfortable level we are living, or we can say the development happened in our country or in our city, or how much energy we are utilizing. Okay, that means actually prosperity in the sense for how much we successfully we achieved something. I mean, we achieved the social status, good fortune, thriving, flourishing. So these are the just synonyms of the prosperity. So generally, it is like a wealth. Sometimes we are call it as happiness and health, also prosperity. But how we can relate with the renewable energy systems? We know that renewable energy system or energy is an economic good. So if you consider any developing countries or developed countries, what is the main difference between the like two countries? We can say that the energy utilization, like either in a residential purpose or it may be a commercial or industrial purpose, but energy utilization will vary between the countries. So I can say that if we are consuming the more energy, that means we are more industrialized. That means we are more developed. So in that case, in our Indian scenario, still why we are called it as developing, because one of the major criteria is how much energy you are utilizing. In that, how much energy you are utilizing for buildings, that means residential purpose, or and how much energy you are utilizing for industrial purpose. So that is the major significance. Now, what are the basic losses? Let us take transportation, heat losses, and efficiency of the machines. So, for example, you generated 240 watts and you are transmitting and you are distributing, and end you are getting 200 watts only. Let us assume you are generating 240 watts. At the user end, they are getting 200 watts. Then where is the 40 watts? Whether it is a consumed energy or it is a loss. It is a consumed in a different way as a loss only we need to consider. So that is not included for our like energy consumption. Once again, I am telling, energy consumption means we should remove the or we should neglect the losses due to the transmission or heat losses or any other inefficiency of the machinery, like transformer, whatever the machinery we are using, converters, DC-DC converters, DC-AC converters. So the inefficiency of the machines, that we have to neglect from the energy consumption. Here you can see that energy consumption is indigenous production. So how much you are producing at the generation point, and imports and stock changes. That means you can export the power to another state. In previously, we have like 5 or 6 grids are there. Now we have one nation, one grid. So from this, let us take from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, from Karnataka to Kerala, from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. So how much energy we are transporting, importing or exporting? Okay, so that we have to consider energy consumption, and we have to remove that export. Anyway, we are exporting means, so that we are not consuming that, right? So that we have to exclude. That we have to exclude, and as well as we have to exclude the losses also. Energy consumption is nothing but how much energy is consumed by a person for a particular year. So this will replicate, this will replicate in our GDP growth. Right? Now, if you look at that installed capacity in our India, 58,000 megawatts to 1,52,000 megawatts, it is increased from 1989 to 2009. Latest data is not available. So whatever the data is available, so just I am projecting that. So like till 2009 only, like 10 years back, it is 1,52,000 megawatt. So you can consider 1989 to 2009, 162% of generation capacity we increased. And 2000 to 2008, like conventional sources, we increased from 43,596 mega units to 65,057 mega units. So 50% around it got doubled. Not 50% exactly. So 35 to 40%. Now, how much we are consuming? 1992 and 2006. So from 1992 to 2006. So if you consider 1992, 283 kilowatt hours we are consuming per year, per person. 283 kilowatt hours. In case of 2006, that is became 52%. So it became double. Now in Karnataka, this is the per capita consumption, that is 720 units in 2009. Let us take in Bangalore, we are consuming more, 2,674 units. That is the data from 2009. If you observe that Karnataka we are consuming the 720 units, but in case of Bangalore, we are consuming 2674 units. So this will, what we can understand from this data? Please someone respond. If I call someone means no one will respond, right? Abhishek. Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
can
sir.
you tell what is meant by per capita consumption in Karnataka and in Bangalore? What you understand from these two?
Sir, per capita consumption is like
Per capita consumption in Karnataka 720 units, but in case of Bangalore 2674 units.
per person
Hmm?
consumption.
Yes,
Per person consumption.
per person consumption is more in Bangalore. What does it mean?
So the power usage is more.
Okay, what does it mean? Power usage is more. We are using more power means what? Then I will turn on all the lights. I can use more power, right?
So the population is more, and the power consumption is more.
So population is more, but you are calculating per capita, no? Like per person, yeah, on an average you are
The
calculating.
density. Like
Okay.
in Bangalore, you can say that density is too much. So
Okay, they are consuming, okay. They are consuming more energy, but what we understand, they are consuming more energy means what?
So proper consumption is not being done. Means we are wasting more of energy.
More wastage. No, I am not wasting the energy, but even though my consumption is more. Then I am not wasting the energy, but my consumption is more. Then what does it mean?
my needs are more.
Your needs are more. Yes, correct. So whatever you want, you are getting. That means your needs are more. You are getting like AC, fridge, and whatever the electrical goods, whatever you want, you are installing in your place. You are utilizing the energy. So your per capita consumption is more in case of Bangalore, right? Now what it will reflect? Ashwin Anil Kumar. Ashwin Anil Kumar, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and Ashwin, can you say in case of Karnataka, per capita consumption is 720 units.
Yes, sir.
Per capita consumption in Bangalore is 2674 units. It is a 2009 data. So from this, what do you understand from these two lines?
And
We'll go back to the previous slides.
okay. So I'm not exactly sure, sir. Oh,
See, if you go to this slide, energy consumption as a measure of prosperity. Prosperity means it's a developing.
yes, sir.
It is related to developing. Prosperity in the sense we have different synonyms like flourishing, thriving, good fortune, and successful social
Yeah,
status.
yes, sir.
But
Yeah.
we are relating now to the development.
Like energy consumption to development. Okay.
Energy consumption will reflect the development. So you are consuming more.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So compare. Yeah. Okay. Generally, the development like all over compared to all over Karnataka, Bangalore is most developed.
More.
More
Then,
developed.
then what about this per capita consumption in Karnataka? 720 units only.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
So it's not as developed as Bangalore. You can say that?
Yeah, Karnataka means all the
All
districts.
over country.
Yeah, all the districts, all the villages, all the things it will come. So
Yes, yeah.
if you look at the villages, they will consume less than 200 units. But in Bangalore itself, we are consuming 2,600. It is like 2009 data. Maybe it may be increased to 4,000 or 5,000 units, maybe, or more than that also. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the Bangalore in Karnataka, Bangalore is developed. How you are telling? As a renewable energy student, we know that if we are consuming the energy, so we can say that it is a developed city or metropolitan city, we are called, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Now, if I turn on all the lights, whether the power consumption, if I am increasing, whether it's a development,
No, exactly. No.
then how can we say that it's a development?
So the services provided are divided equally among each person, and that's how the
Okay.
per capita is calculated. The energy services.
Pardon, ma, once again, please repeat.
So to calculate the per capita, the services that are provided are equally divided among the population.
Okay. So anyway, to calculate the per capita, we divided that you are telling. So that's why it became 720 units for the Karnataka.
Yeah. So not each person is using it in the villages and all.
Yes,
So I
correct.
think. So I
Yeah,
think in Bangalore, by the per capita progress, everyone is using or something like that.
yeah, you told is correct only, ma'am. My point is how, in what way we are utilizing the energy. That is important.
Okay.
In what way, Ronisha? In what way we are utilizing the energy?
So in Bangalore, like big companies are there.
Yes, I'm telling. I want this point only.
Yes, sir,
In
because
Bangalore, we are industrially developed. So many companies, so many industries are there. We are consuming the energy through the industries. If you take a residential building, it won't, I mean, we cannot consume more energy, right? If you have all the equipments, AC, fridge, washing machine, or all the equipments, even dishwasher, everything, if you have in your home, we cannot consume more energy. But if you are industrially developed, then we can consume more energy, then only we can say it is a developed city. Okay. So as your friends told, per capita consumption is Karnataka 720 units, but Bangalore more, I mean, Bangalore is a developed city, so we are consuming more energy with companies and as well as industrialization. Okay, so in case of villages, it is less than 200 units only. That we have to see. Now, in 2009 data, 44% of households, they don't have that electricity, but maybe now it may be they got to reduce it to 30% to 20%, 20 to 30%. And so many villages are unelectrified, and power cuts will be there. Even Bangalore, we are also facing the power cuts. Power quality, this is very important. As an electrical engineer, we have to be very careful about power quality. What is meant by power quality? Anyone, please? Power quality. In your terms, you say that.
so regarding voltage fluctuation, it should be
Voltage fluctuation, very good.
So like it is a steady supply voltage that
Sta-
stays within the prescribed range. Like it should
Okay.
be a quite steady supply voltage.
Steady supply voltage. Good. Why we are using the stabilizer for a TV, fridge, whatever the costly equipments? Why we use the stabilizer?
To stabilize the voltage, sir, because sometimes if the voltage comes like it's higher,
Yeah.
so if that electrical equipments they will get higher voltage, they will like misfunction or they will get damaged. So that's why we used.
Okay, fine. For example, you have like in your home, you have all the equipments, whatever the installed equipments are there, all are running with the power electronic components. There will be lot of in your mobile charger also. There are lot of power electronic components is there in your mobile and computer, fridge, washing machine, whatever the things are in your home. Every inside UPS, inside every component, there will be a definitely there will be a power electronic component. Power electronic component is nothing but switches. In general, switches like AC to DC rectifier, DC to AC rectifier. In general, I can say we have the resistor, capacitor, inductor. So these will cause the fluctuation or variation of the voltage, or it may be variation in the current due to the switching operation. We may face the harmonics. Anyway, later you can study about this later. Just I will go through the in general way. We will get the power is very poor. In that means sometimes we will get the like for example, if you consider in our college, if you consider our college, we are getting some like 1 kilowatt, I mean let us take some 50 kilowatt energy we are getting. Let us assume now we are utilizing all the power electronic component and all. If you are start utilizing all the components simultaneously, I mean at the same time, then there is a variation of the current and phases, current and phase voltage, sorry, voltage and current phases. So that will create the power factor issue. Anyway, that you can study later. Now in general, I can say we are facing the power quality issue, poor quality of power we are getting, inefficiency of the equipments. And if you look at the different countries, this is 2010 data. We are consuming 684 kilowatt hours per capita energy India wise. In Karnataka 720 2009 data, but India, all over India 684 kilowatt hours. Now if you observe this diagram, who is consuming more?
UAE.
Sweden.
Sweden, sir.
Sweden is the first place, USA is the second place, so and so on, like Australia, Japan, Germany, China. China, they are like industrially they are also good, but why they per capita is 3,298 only? Why that is very less? Because we have like all the products from China only, right? Most of the products from China only. Then why that per capita energy consumption is very less in case of China?
Maybe the common people, they don't have the access to
Yeah,
power.
same issue with the same like India only. We have like village people, I mean villages, we are not consuming more energy. Industrially developed areas are the very less. Let us take Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. We have a few more cities are there, but these five are major cities which consumes more energy. Now, in that case, China also very less because of the population, and as your friend told that reason, And India consumption, if you can look at that India consumption 2015 data, and in future also they predicted, so 129% we are increasing the energy consumption. What does it mean? So we will consume more energy. What does it mean?
Development, sir.
Yeah,
Development.
that's what it is. We are consuming more energy means it directly relates to the development. So now we are in developing country. So in 2015, per capita energy consumption for India is 701. For China, again, we are not considering the other countries like Sweden. But US also we considered, but it became like 2,281. The UK, here it is units in MTOI, million tons of energy. Okay, so from this slide, what I want to say is, so India, we will develop, always we have the goal to develop 2020, Vision 2020, Vision 2035, 2050, some visions we have. So in that case, we need to double our energy consumption to show our development. So you can see that the percentage change is listed over here, 41% and 2%, 129%. This is the prediction only. We may achieve this 129 always, we need to think bigger way. But whether we will achieve or not, that's a different story. But as per the statistics, this is the like 2015 data, energy consumption is 701 and 2035, 1,603 million tons of energy. Right. Now if you look at this is why I am telling the energy consumption in 3 to 4 slides. Means this is very important question. What is meant by prosperity? How the significance of prosperity with the energy consumption. This is very important. That's why we have to know about what is meant by per capita energy consumption. And if you write the real-time data like Bangalore, Karnataka, if you take that will be very good. I mean, you understand something like that, it will be there. Okay, fine. Now, like if you look at this per capita consumption in India, 2015 data, for all other countries, 2012 data. Now, sorry, 2012 to 2015, you can see here 857 availability, but consumption is 785. 911, 824. So we have the, one of your friend told we are generating more power, we are consuming more power, but why our GDP is very less? Because of per capita energy consumption is less. In city, we have consumption is more, but per capita energy we have to consider to calculate the GDP. So that is very less. And so always availability is more, but in case of consumption is less. Consumption means turning on, I mean, sir, I will turn on all the lights in a room, I will consume more power. No, it is not like that. You need to consume the power to whatever, to design a product or industrial purpose, I can say in general. Now, Indian power scenario, we have like state sector and central sector and private sector. This is the Indian power scenario. What is the total? It is like 2011 data, 1,71,000 megawatts we have installed capacity. In this one, 48%, that means state sectors are there in various states, all. Central, they are like contributing 31%. So we have the private sectors also, so they are contributing 21%. Different states, they will produce their own energy, and central, they will support like 52,000 megawatts. Private sectors, see, they are also producing 36,000 megawatts. Now, different fuels, whatever the fuels, fuel based, how much in megawatt energy we are generating. So if you look at that, thermal power plant almost 64%. In that 64%, coal is 53 and gas is 10.3, oil is 0.7. So this much energy we are depending on the thermal power plant. If you look at the hydro, nuclear or renewable energy sources, so it is very less. Hydro 21%, nuclear anyway we are shut down that Kalpakam nuclear power plant also, some other power plants also. Okay, renewable energy we are depending on. I mean, we can generate the energy 10.7%. The data Ministry of Power website, it is taken from the Ministry of Power in 2011 data. So we can, if I want to replace the renewable energy with the thermal power plant, it is very difficult. See, here we are generating 18,000 kilowatt, but we have to generate like 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh 11,324 megawatts, not kilowatt, megawatts. So renewable energy sources we have to install more in our Indian scenario. Now, if you look at that, previously I told 5 regions are there: northern, western, southern, eastern and northeastern. So how the energy is distributed for the different energy resources like coal, gas, nuclear, hydro and RES, renewable energy systems. So in each case, see, coal is 21,000 megawatt, but RES is 2,000. How much percent? 21,000, 20,000.
Almost 10%.
10%. So remaining nuclear, anyway we can neglect this nuclear power plant. Only we need to concentrate on gas and hydro and RES. See here 28% is a western region. They are installing a little bit more renewable energy sources. Southern region, we are related to southern region. See how much, 8,330 megawatts we are using in our southern region. In case of eastern region or northeastern region, that is very less, 218 megawatt and 335 megawatt capacity they installed as of 2010 data. Okay, central, this is CEA is nothing but Central Electricity Authority. From their database I taken these values. See, if you look at the total again all over India, 86,000 megawatts we are from the coal we are generating in, and RES is generating 16,000 megawatts. So mostly we are highly depends on the coal and as well as hydro based. So gas also, but not all the regions, few regions. If you look at that, if you look at this one, southern region, we are generating more energy comparatively with all. So, okay, anyway, western region is more. Sorry, western region, they are generating 50,000 megawatt. In that, they are completely depends on the coal. You can say that which region will give more, which region installed the more energy in terms of coal. So we can say western region. So in case of renewable energy systems, southern region, because we don't have that much thermal power plants. Only we have like 18,573 megawatts. And this one, energy requirement and availability. So if you look at that, energy requirement is 2,18,000. Here it is 756. So availability is very less. So here southern region also, all the regions we have like northeast region, eastern region, southern region, western or northern region, we have the energy deficit. As per 2011 data, we have the energy deficient. That means we are not generating the more energy. So what is the main problem with the coal or hydro or whatever the conventional energy sources? We can say that transmission and distribution losses are there. See, generally in your studies, you may studied about what is the percentage of transmission and distribution level. Losses are 5 to 10%, but reality you can see here 20 to 52%. In different regions, it is different. Southern region 19 to 26%, Eastern region 24 to 50%. So all over India, 28.65% TND losses are registered. And the whole world, we are depends on,
So why do the losses differ across regions?
yeah, because of the development again. See, for example, you are generating, let us take the generating station to the load center, the distance, variation of the distance. If it is near to the the load center is near to the generation, then we can say losses will be little less. If generating somewhere in like Hubli you are generating, you are consuming in Bangalore, how much distance you need to transport? Transmission line, transmission lines and distribution lines, you have to do that, right? So due to that, the losses are varying.
Okay.
Okay. For example, now you are generating nearby Bangalore only. So transmission losses are very less because no need to transfer no need to transmit for a long distance. This is one point. Another point I can say nowadays we are coming up with HVDC also, HVDC lines to reduce the losses, transmission and distribution losses. That is a different story. But what I am telling is conventional transmission and distribution system, right? So anyway, we depend on the mainly we are getting the what are the energy resources are. Solar is 2,850 times we are getting. Wind energy 200 times, biomass or geothermal, marine and hydro. So these are the different renewable energy sources that are available, but we are not utilizing that. Okay, this slide you can see. We have that fuel generation, like whatever the fuel, if you take the hydel power generation or thermal power generation or renewable energy generation, what is the main problem with that? You can say that hydel power generation. So investigations we have to do. That means we have to thoroughly we have to check whether we can construct the dam or not, and what are the people we have to relocate the villages. We have to give the shelter for them, right? And if you take the renewable energy systems, we have technology wise we need to improve ourselves, and the cost also very high. And in future, this is the 2030 mission. By this we have to increase our generation through the hydel power plant or renewable energy power plant with certain amount of percent, like hydel 20% of the total power generation, renewable energy 5% of the total power generation, nuclear anyway this is we cannot improve this much. And this is statistics again I am telling here, 2004 to 2005, and this is like a prediction. These two are the predicted values. You can see that 2019-2020 data, total electricity supply required is 1966 kilowatt hours, billion kilowatt hours. Thermal itself 1409 billion kilowatt hours, and renewable energy 98, and the hydro 393, and nuclear 66 billion kilowatt hours. So In future, if you look at that, as I told, renewable energy 5% of total energy we have to depend on the renewable energy systems, right? So this is the predicted values. 185 billion kilowatt hours we have to generate for a 2600 billion kilowatt from the thermal. And if you, this is very interesting one. For example, if you are using oil and gas, coal, oil and gas, anyway, we are completely depends on the thermal power plant and hydel power plant. Very less with the renewable energy systems. We know that what are the reasons behind that. If you look at that coal-based power, if you read this slide, a coal-based power plant for megawatt generation, we are spending 4.2 crores. 1 megawatt generation, 4.2 crores we are spending. In that, fixed cost is 1.2 per kilowatt hour. And anyway, coal, for example, coal, if you are delivering 600 kilometers, it will cost 1,500 rupees per ton. So that means fuel cost is 1.05 per this is the fuel cost, rupees 1.05. So then the power cost is 2.25 per unit. This is based on the coal-based, thermal power plant. If you consider the gas-based power plant, we need to spend 3 crore per megawatt generation. In this case, we will get the power cost is 2.35. But if you assume that if you assume that we are if I want to install the 1 megawatt of solar energy, it will cost around 25 to 30 crores. You need to, if you observe that, anyway, I will tell you later about that. How much energy we have to to install the 1 megawatt of solar power plant, how much money we have to spend. Okay, so it depends on the number of converters, number of what is the solar power panel required. So everything I will anyway, that is not required for your class, but anyway I will explain that how much cost it is required to generate the 1 megawatt. If you need to remember these values. Coal-based power plant, 4.2 crores. 4.2 crores per megawatt. Here, gas-based means 3 crores per megawatt. But in case of solar power plant, we need to spend 25 crores. Then who will come forward to install the 1 megawatt of solar panels or wind panels? So that we will discuss in the upcoming classes. If you look at that, we have the different colors are highlighted, right? Black color or pink, green and all. If you look at that green color, oil and gas. And anyway, thermal power plant, like you can, from this you can say that where the thermal power plants, coal is available. This region only coal is available here and here, some places around here. Right? See, coal reserves are like Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh. These places we will get the more coal. Oil reservoir, oil and gas, you can see these places from near the Mumbai, or even we will get from this Andhra Pradesh border also. Not Andhra Pradesh, it's a Tamil Nadu. And waste energy, biomass, small hydro, and wind. Here as the wind, wind power plants are installed in our country. We will discuss about what are the different capacity of wind turbines are installed in our country, where locations with the power capacity and all. And biomass, you can see here, biomass potential 3,500 megawatt. So you can see these locations. You can see that the dotted lines are represented over here. So these places where the biomass are installed. Again, in Indian scenario, 2010 data, how much installed capacity? We are completely 64%. We are dependent on the thermal. Renewable energy is 3%. In that 10%, completely we are depends on the wind power. 70% we are depends on the wind power. So very like small hydropower, 16%, and very less amount of power we depend on the solar or cogeneration based gases. This is based on the 2010 data. 2015 data, if you look at that, so previously it was 64%. You can see that in the 2010, 64%. In 2015, it is 61%. So because we installed the renewable energy, it became 13%. And again, in 2015, in this 13%, what is the again segregation? Wind power. If you look at that second solar power is like installed very high, like how much it is? 70, like 770, okay, 7 lakhs. Potential in megawatts. Okay, if you look at that, in this 13%, 2015, we are concentrating on the solar power. Previously, we are completely depends on the wind power. Now, completely we are depends on the, not completely, we are moved towards the solar power based renewable energy system. You can see here. And like coal based development, nuclear power plant, we have to maximize. We need to be like utilize the water, and nuclear, maximize the hydro and nuclear. So these are the various reasons why the GDP is increased to 8%. Every year, if you look at the GDP, it is continuously increasing because whatever anyway, we are completely depends on the coal-based power plants only. And we need to improve the hydropower plants and the renewable energy systems also. You can see here, renewable energy systems. So 10 plus is nothing but what are the different methods? Like now, this one I will discuss. These two options I will discuss later. Okay. Here also wind installation across the globe is 60,000 megawatts. In India's share is around 10%, 6,270 megawatt. And solar panels production is 1,700 megawatts. India's share is 37 megawatts. And biogas in worldwide is 16 million units. In case of India, 3.9 million units. Solar thermal power plant. Thermal applications. Solar thermal anyway, globally we are using 110 million square meters. In India, we are using 1.65 million square meters. So in the upcoming classes, we will discuss about this deployment and whatever the worldwide share, what is the worldwide installment and India's share, how much. Around, if you look at that, for wind installation, around 10%. You can see, right? But in case of PV, like PV cell production, we are not that much, 7th in the world. And biogas, this is also fine. 16 million units are there throughout the world. 3.9 million units of India's share. Told, right? Now solar thermal applications, 110 million square meters, but here we are using only 1.65 million square meters. This is ninth in the world. We are ninth in the world. Yes, please.
So in the solar thermal, do we actually supply the power generated immediately, or do we store the power?
No. Here solar thermal power plants are very, again it's a different thing, because solar collectors we are called as solar collectors. That means energy will be like heat energy we will convert. That solar energy we need to convert it to heat energy. Again from heat energy to like steam energy to turbine to generator. That is we are call it as thermal power, solar thermal utilization. It is not like direct solar panel to the electricity generation. That is different. That
Okay.
is PV panel is different. That is like you can see in the second one, PV panels 1700 megawatts. We are like 37 megawatts we are generating. We are in the 7th in the place. If you look at the solar thermal power plant, sorry, not thermal power plant, sorry, solar thermal collectors, I can say. So this solar thermal collectors, we are 9th place in the world. We have like, we will see that what are the different solar collectors are there, and we will discuss the how we can harvest through the solar collectors in the next classes.
So which is more efficient, sir? Using solar collectors or direct supply?
Here we should not like talk about efficiency, because we need to talk about how much energy we are utilizing. See, for example, if you look at the solar thermal power plant, solar thermal collectors, if you install in a desert area, you can get more energy. Solar tower, we are called as solar tower. When the topic came, I will explain that later. Solar tower, that means you can see like all the solar energy will fall on a panel. It's like a reflecting panel. Again, that reflection coming to one place, that we are called as solar tower. So in different ways we are utilizing the solar energy. Direct energy generation through the solar panel, indirect energy we are generating through the solar collectors. Even we can use a solar cooker. We are not generating anything, but we are utilizing the energy directly, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the. So which way is the better means? Depends on the application. For example, if I want to use that cooking application, we can go for solar thermal collector. Instead of generating the power, then we need to turn on the switch. That's a difficult task. Now, see, this is very important. We have to know that how much money we have to spend. As I told, wind power, if you look at that, 5.75 crores per megawatt. Solar power, if you look at that, I told you 25, right? 25 crores. Okay, so 10 to 13 crores per megawatt. This is the capital cost. Again, for renewable energy system, there will be less running cost. 5 more minutes I will take. I will finish. Please bear with me because you joined late for the class. Okay, once again I'm telling. Here we have to look at for how much cost we are spending to generate the energy, to generate the electrical power. If you consider the thermal power plant, how much money we spent? Only 4 crores or 5 crores. Initial capital cost, that is, to generate 1 megawatt. That's why if you look at that any thermal power plants in terms of 500 megawatt, 600 megawatt, so per megawatt, the cost is reduced to 4 or 5 crores. But in case of renewable energy system, if I want to install the solar based, then it is cost around 10 to 13 13 crores. Then who will come forward to to install this much money? So definitely government should help in this regard, right? Now, then cost of electricity generation, that means this is to install the like a power plant, like whatever the solar power plant or biomass or wind power plant.
So
Now, yes, please.
that's why I asked how are we using the solar power? Because if we use batteries, batteries are very quite expensive compared to just the solar panels itself.
Yeah,
And so that depends on how we use. So according to that,
yeah.
the cost of the way to get the energy through solar power can change
No, no,
based on
no.
how we get it.
See, solar, for example, if you consider the solar panels, whenever you are purchasing, they will tell 25 years it will work. But in case of batteries, we have like the lifetime of the battery not more than 5 to 6 years. So the cost of the battery, why the cost of the battery is more? Because for one life cycle of the solar panel, you have to change the 5 batteries. So you need, like, the cost is very, very high. But if you go for the grid connected operation, you can exclude the battery. You can exclude the battery. You can go for alternative, that is grid connection. That's why we have to encourage towards the grid connected operations instead of battery based system, right?
Yes, sir. That means direct connection from solar to supply.
Yeah, so direct connection only. So what you asked, that solar thermal power plant or solar PV panel based, you asked, right?
Yes, sir.
So in these two, that's what I'm telling. For example, if you want to cook some food for a whole college people, you need to generate the power through the solar panel. That means you need to install the solar panels. You need to generate, then you have to utilize through the electricity.
Yes, sir.
What I am telling, you can directly cook through the solar energy. That option also is there, but uncertainty is there. Anyway, intermittency is there. That means solar radiation is different. But these are the two different ways. Which one you will choose means that depends on the quantity. For example, 2 people are there. Whether you will go for you will keep the cooker in the outside of the thing, or simply you will cook through the like
Gas, mostly gas.
gas based, right? So
Yes,
that's
sir.
what I'm telling. It depends on the application. We can say that. Mostly in India, we are going for panel PV panel based only, because we need to generate the power for industrial purpose.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. I hope. Thank you. At least you are asking questions. I'm very happy for that. See, I told like something I given about CEA, and what about SEB and Ministry of Power, MOP. So they implemented some rules and regulations and policies, national electricity policy and tariff policy. So how much tariff we need to collect from the rural people and in the urban people, metropolitan cities and all. Rural electrification, and anyway we know that Genco, Transco and distribution companies, generation company, transmission company and distribution companies, and consumer protection. So these are the various like important features they are concentrating to encourage towards the renewable energy sources. And this is like 2001 Act, Energy Conservation 2001 Act. So here they established the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So according to this, they will they will check that how much energy efficient devices are you using in your home or in industry. Like are you using in a old machines or new machines with high efficiency or not? Just they will go through that before giving the approval of the buildings. And in energy, renewable energy in India, anyway, we discussed about these points. We know that India is one of the largest renewable energy generation production country, that we already discussed. In this, no, it will finish by 5 minutes, sir. Yeah, 34% of the total installed power capacity, and so hydropower plants This is 30 June 2009 data, 19 data. So 45 gigawatts we installed, that is 13% of the total power capacity. So anyway, we know that we depends on the coal power, thermal power plant and hydro power plants. And renewable energies, we are like 22% of the total installed power capacity as of 30 June 2019. Right? So these are the various summary of our previous slides. So this is very important question. That's why I am giving the like points like this. So this is very important question. Renewable energy scenario in India. So you can write these like points only you have to write. Don't write paragraph wise. So we have the Bandla Solar Park in Rajasthan. The capacity is 2,255 megawatt. So it is not yet completed. 2018 it will finish. Anyway, again I will cover in the next class. Okay. Question and answers, please. It's already 150. Please, any question and answers? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Please, once again, I am requesting, please all of you join before the time 12:40. Before the time, if you join means I can complete by 1:40.